The concept of planting things in your garden that you're not going to have to replant year after year is something that you really need to look into. There's a few things here I'm not going to have to purchase anymore. The rhubarb, these strawberries, the lavender, of course. We have rosemary that I'm not going to have to replant. We've got sage, and then garlic is kind of in between because what I will do in the fall when I harvest this garlic, I will pull out some cloves, I'll divide them up and then replant them. So I won't have to purchase any more technically. And then my fruit trees. So I haven't mentioned this fig tree that somebody I work with started from a cutting and they gave to me, and it looks so good. And then of course the apple trees that we planted, and they're looking great. I guess we'll go down there and look at them real quick. It's supposed to rain a lot the next few days, so who knows what things are gonna look like. I don't know if you can see all these little sticks. All those are the cuttings from my hydrangeas.
Squirrel!
I guess we can talk really quickly about cuttings that I've done. So I guess we have about 20 hydrangea Annabelles, and I had to prune all of them. And I just took all the stems that I pruned off and I stuck them in soils I knew was gonna stay wet. So I focus mainly on places where I'm actively watering things right now, just because that's the easiest. I know that it's somewhere that I'm gonna keep an eye on them. And as long as they stay wet, I should have hydrangea plants probably no later than June. They'll start having roots and I can, at that point, move them around. If I don't want them where I've got them right now, that's completely fine. They're not gonna take over or anything. See if I can get you a little closer. You can see that better. So that's just the top of the hydrangea that I pruned. Just stick that in some soil. If you know me and you need some hydrangeas, you might get with me by the end of the summer. I may have so many that I need to get rid of some. So you can really see the checkerboard pattern of that sod from here, huh? I'm not exactly proud of how this bed looks, but here's another example of something that I'm not gonna have to replant is my asparagus bed. It doesn't look great. This is over here where we had our originally planned garden, but now that these are established, they're just gonna stay here and they will give us asparagus for years. I ordered these hybrid willow cuttings from an Etsy shop in Pennsylvania, and they literally look like twigs when they came in. And I've rooted them in this jar and they really need to be planted out. If you've ever seen like the hedges or fence rows they do with willow in England, and sometimes they use them to make trellises and a lot of different plant supports, that is really what I want to do with these. And I want to have them where I can take cuttings from them in order to use them as plant supports and make my own trellises in the future. So I'm not exactly sure where I'm going to plant them out. This is a major fail on my part, but I have waited a little bit too long to plant them out. They're going to be fine, but they have a little bit of mildew that's grown on them. So instead of just planting them straight out, I'm going to go ahead and rinse this off. The reason I have been procrastinating a little is because I couldn't pick where I wanted to plant them. So it's just like that curly willow. They don't need to be planted near water lines. And they like moisture, but I don't want to plant them all the way over there. So I'm still not 100% sure where I want to put them, but today's the day. Because I can't stay in this jar forever. I will link the Etsy shop that I bought these from. They had really good reviews. I just divided them in half. I think I had 20, so I'll put 10 in each jar. And this is what they look like now. So every one has its own leaves and its own little roots. It's pretty cool. So a lot cheaper. It's a really good tip, especially once you figure out how to grow things from cuttings in your own garden. That would be my recommendation, is to start with perennials that you can divide easily. Lamb's ear and catmint are my two favorite. They're a ground cover and they just root really easily. And yeah, give that a try. Once you figure that out, you'll understand the concept more and you can go into more complicated things. I've rooted boxwood, roses, hydrangeas, and yeah, I love starting things from seed, but I love divisions and starting things from cuttings way more. Today's gonna be unplanned because, to be honest with you guys, I had some blood vessels lasered on my face yesterday and it is super swollen. So if you notice that my face looks a little odd, that's why. Just grabbing this empty flower pot and I'm trying to figure out where I want to plant these things. Dolly girl, are you okay?
Don't get distracted.
I'm hoping we get those babies soon. Although I'm over here pretty close a lot, and I think it does make her feel a little bit better. I apologize, I did not take y'all with me to plant those willow cuttings. I failed again. As always, I have got a pretty lengthy plant to-do list. I've got the willow cuttings planted, and I have an olive tree that I purchased last fall that's been in the house off and on. I put it out on warmer days, but I want to get it repotted, so I'll let y'all watch me work on that now.
Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly.
It's gonna make this way harder to move around and a lot heavier, but really needs to be out of that plastic pot. My son and the dog broke this terracotta pot the other day, so it's gonna go in here for some drainage.
Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down,
That looks so good. Gonna keep the pot. Ugh. I gotta get some scissors. I'll be back.
jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know
Uh-oh, I think it's cow feeding time.
if I figure out where the road goes.
I'm not necessarily trying to make it more shallow. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing there, just wiping that dirt down. I definitely don't want to make it deeper than it was in the other pot.
You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down.
I guess I'm gonna go get the golf cart and move this.
Even if the sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, the sky is falling down. Jumping from cliffs so high, trusting our wings to fly. Sometimes we're crashing down, we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know if I never figure out where the road goes. Even if I'm falling down, I will keep on searching for my highs. You can say I lost my mind, I will keep on holding my head high. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down. Even if the sky is falling down, even if the sky is falling down, yeah. The sky is falling down.
I've got a few things in this bed that I really wanted to share just because I'm excited about the success that I'm having with them. So a few things. The first one is spinach. Let me see. So this one is called Bloomsdale Longstanding, and if I'm not mistaken, this is one of the varieties that was labeled as being able to tolerate heat fairly well. Our weather here isn't necessarily hot, but we have a lot of extremes, so it makes things a little bit difficult. The next thing I have here is some kale. This is dinosaur kale, and it also was labeled as something that will handle the heat very well. I'll just move y'all down so we can continue on around the bed. The next thing that I have here is radishes, and all these were just directly sown in the bed. This is early scarlet globe radish, and I'm not sure how these are going to do. Again, I haven't done any of these cooler season vegetables yet. We haven't got to our first frost date. We'll start having some pretty warm weather, but hopefully I can keep these watered well and we can at least get one harvest or so out of here. I would say the least success that I have had is going to be this one, but I'll show you. They are doing pretty good, but this is the red Russian kale. I think they're supposed to be heat tolerant as well. I do have several that have come up here. They're kind of darker in color, so they're harder to see, but overall they seem to have germinated less. However, I do think that this was a batch of seeds that was expired by like a couple years. So, because we sold our house, our old house, in the summer, so I didn't fully have a season there. And then last summer we were really in the thick of the renovation, so I didn't get to have a really good growing season last year. So the next thing I have is some lettuce. It doesn't look like a lot. I do have a few more that are starting to germinate here. That's your dinosaur kale. Here's all our little spinach seedlings. Looking really good. Here's some of our lettuce. Here's our radishes. And the last thing in this bed that I have is the red Russian kale. They're kind of hard to show. Again, I think they're supposed to be pretty heat tolerant. I don't think it's anything conditioned. I think it's actually the fact that those seeds were expired. I just scooted you back to the next bed. Here's our onions. We've got several different varieties in there. Right here, I've got a row of Swiss chard. You can see, get my big head out of the way. You see that little guy there? And there and there, those are Swiss chard. The only thing in this bed that I haven't had luck with yet is my carrots, which I'm sad. However, I have grown them before and usually they take a lot longer to germinate. The only thing with growing carrots from seed that you need to know is that they need to stay moist while they are germinating. This one is mainly onion, so I bought a pack of onion sets. Had multiple different colors in there. I'm gonna get my scissors. My scissors, my scissors. This porch ceiling looks so good. I'm gonna see if while we're talking I can fix a couple of these drip lines, because that was really a rush job. I also want to mention that the raised beds aren't completed, so we are going to be adding, we've already got the stuff in the garage, about a 4-inch lip that goes all the way around here, and some copper flashing on top of that. So there's going to be like a copper rim around the whole thing on each bed. I didn't want to put stain inside the beds, so that's why the stain stops here, and then that lip will actually cover that, so you won't see where it's not stained on the inside. Remember, they're lined with plastic. We just didn't put it up high enough. There's just that little gap there. But these should last a really long time without having any issues, so. Let's see if we can fix 1 or 2 of these. I really want to have them go around the perimeter of the bed. I have some little stakes. Okay. I've been procrastinating with this as well because it's working, but it looks pretty janky, so let's see what we can do. I'll take this one off. Okay. We shall see how this goes. I don't mind seeing the line some. I just didn't like the way it looked. Kind of wadded up there in the middle. If this works fine, I'll cut this piece off shorter where that lays down flat, but I don't want to cut it all the way down and then for some reason it mess up that dynamic. I don't know. They do make caps, so for some reason I went overboard. I can cap the line off. And then I can also cut into them and add more, so. Complete flexibility there. I think I need one here. I don't know. let's give it a try. Yeah. See, when that lip is on there as well, it'll really help. Give me something to tuck this line under and hide that as well. That's a little bit more evenly dispersed, I think. Probably the next couple weeks are going to be a lot more about planting than gardening. I'm going to let the things that I have planted grow and get ready to start some things from seed, like beans and corn, all things that need to wait until after our last frost date. So if you're wondering also why the channel might be a little bit less garden heavy over the next couple weeks, that's going to be why. Because yeah, it's just time to hurry up and wait. I know you're not going to believe me when I say this was purely coincidence, but is that not hilarious? You're cute. I've lost my ability to go distances at the moment.
What lights coming up?
It's partly because it's raining and it's partly because they want food, but we're gonna interrupt this regularly scheduled patio programming to make some lunch. I have officially been influenced. This is an Instagram save from Rachel K. Johns. She posted it in January. The Green Goddess recipe, protein, so we're gonna be making that. I usually do everything messy in the pantry, so I'm gonna make the dressing in there. I'll take y'all in there with me and then we'll come back in here and finish it up.